What's up guys, I'm BTC. Hanzo is getting a pretty significant nerf, and the Symmetra Rework might be arriving a lot sooner than we expected. First thing we're going to talk about is the Symmetra Rework, because it's just going to be a really quick little update. So this is likely going to be happening a lot sooner than we expected. Over on the PTR, they have updated the sound effects for the mini sentry. And you might think, well, that's not really a big deal. They haven't actually changed any abilities or any of that stuff on the PTR. Like, it's just the sound effects. But the sound effects and the animations for a new character or for a reworked character, those are the last things that they do, because there's a list of stuff that Blizzard has to take care of whenever they're making a new character or reworking one. And the sound effects and the animations are basically the last thing. So that means that Blizzard has pretty much already done all of the Symmetra Rework stuff. They figured out all of the abilities that they wanted to have, the damage types, all that kind of stuff, and they've probably done a good deal of internal testing on it, and now they said, okay, it's good to go, let's start greenlighting all of the animations and the sound effects and all that sort of stuff. So basically that's what it means. They're in the final stages. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Symmetra Rework on the PTR in the next couple weeks. And in case you're wondering, here's a comparison of the live version and now the PTR. Moving on to Hanzo, the character is going to be getting a pretty significant nerf. While specifically it's going to adjust the Storm Arrow ability, it's also going to change a lot of the dynamics that the character has in the game, and also it's going to affect his ultimate charge as well. So let me quickly read it. Jeff Goodman said, "We've been testing some nerfs internally and have decided to make a change for the upcoming patch. We're reducing the damage per arrow from 80 to 70, which not only drops them out of one-shot territory for 200 hit point heroes with the Mercy damage boost, but also drops them out of one-shot range of 150 heroes such as Tracer and Diva Pilot. The ability will still be very strong overall, but this change should help mitigate the most frustrating element of fighting against it. We're looking at getting this change up onto the PTR soon." These changes bring with it some obvious impact and some slightly less obvious or indirect impact. For the obvious stuff, as he just said, you cannot one-shot characters with 200 hit points or below, even if you're being damage boosted by a Mercy. So that's a pretty significant change. That means you have to dedicate at least 2 arrows into taking out that enemy. And then, of course, if you're just using a regular Storm Arrow ability and you're not getting damage boosted by the Mercy, you're not going to be able to one-shot that Tracer either. And again, that's pretty huge, because one of the big counters to that Tracer was the fact that you could fire up the Storm Arrows, and then all it took was one hit, and that Tracer was just gone. And of course, the Mini Diva as well, but I mean, Mini Diva really isn't that big of an issue ever. So that's not really the big deal. But the fact that you can no longer one-shot these people in the majority of the situations is pretty significant. I knew they were going to nerf Hanzo. There's just no way they weren't going to. But I was concerned that they were going to over-nerf him and basically put him back into that troll pick status that he was before. But this change, I'm okay with. I think this is actually a pretty solid change to the character, because one of the most frustrating things in the game is to just get one hit out of nowhere, and you can't really do anything to respond. And I think giving a one-hit ability to a character is perfectly fine if there is some kind of a trade-off. So for like Reinhardt when he charges in, or Doomfist when he charges in, there's a trade-off, because you're putting yourself in danger in order to get that. One of the biggest concerns or the problems with the Scatter Arrow was that you could one-shot somebody and there was really nothing that they could do, and you could do it from like halfway across the map. And the Storm Arrow kind of was doing the same thing. Not nearly as effective, but it was still doing the same thing. So I think it's okay that you take away that one-shot ability. I mean, it's still basically going to put you at, like 5 or 10 health, so you're going to be ridiculously low on health. So if you were already damaged, then you're still going to get, eliminated. But the fact that you can't go from full health to 0, I think that's fine. Another impact of this change is his total damage is now going to go down. And that means Hanzo will be getting his ultimate less often. A really good Hanzo under the current live version of the patch can get his ultimate almost every single fight, maybe every fight and a half, but you're still getting it far, far too often. And this change is going to make it so that maybe it gets pushed to like every 2 fights or something. Like, it's not going to be that bad, but it's still going to take him a little bit longer in order to build that ultimate. And also, I think that was a pretty good change as well. So I don't really have a problem with these nerfs. I don't think they were over-nerfing him. I was really concerned that they were going to do that. I think this is going to put Hanzo in a slightly better place, although he will be a little bit weaker. Now, the other thing is that, is this going to change anything in terms of who the best mid to long range DPS is? And the answer is no. Hanzo is still undoubtedly the best mid to long range character in the game. And these nerfs will not change that. He's still going to crush everyone else. So what do you guys think about these changes? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my Discord server. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. The links for that stuff are down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault. Also, special thanks to all my Patreon supporters for helping to make this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting the channel, check the links on screen and down below.